Welcome to this week's JVA Coach to Coach Video of the Week, brought to you by NetLink Sports, the preferred court provider of the JVA.
I want these setters to be setting the ball. So we're going to go into our offensive system in a second, but as our catchers are catching this ball, right, in our gym we have hoops, we love them, but let's say we're doing a position training where we've got 25 setters. Well, we don't have 50 hoops, right? So we'll put kids on boxes to make it a little bit more realistic of where we want them to pick this ball off, but we want to set this ball 3 feet in and 3 feet off. Okay, so we want to say it's easier for an attacker, just like an out-of-system ball. We want to miss inside and off the net, versus we're trying to get right to this spot right here. And then if our setters are off by 3 inches, well, now this is a really hard ball for our attackers to navigate. Where instead, we want to miss 3 feet in, 3 feet off. And so if we miss a little inside, that's okay. Blake, what do you say? Missing inside is a what?
Well, we say we do not want to miss far. It's a sin.
It's a sin
to miss far.
You cannot miss far. You can miss inside. It can look like a rip. Maybe it even looks like a 4-ball, okay? Especially for your young kids, making sure you're not getting to a space where they're afraid to fail. So, hey, we are good. She sets a ball that lands here. Hey, attackers, let's have great eye work and get there. We want to miss inside, okay? We want to go fast, so we're going to go 3 feet in. We'd have our kids on boxes. We'd have our hoop there. So we always tell our target to move inside on both pins.
Yeah, and before I get to the pocket, I think this is really important. Even in college, these kids are all about the result, and you have to get them bought in about the process, right? And we use hoops a lot in our gym, and so if a ball doesn't go in the hoop, they think it's, oh my God, it's a terrible set, right? And the hoop's not very big to begin with. So just make sure, like when you're doing this, when you're working, when you're training kids in any position, that make sure these kids understand it's about the process and let them fail, let them understand that failing is part of learning, right? It's a very big part of it. And all we care, like if I'm working on footwork with a kid, it's just all about her feet. And if she has good feet, then I tell her, awesome. And I don't care where the ball goes. Half the time, I don't even watch where the ball goes because I just want her to have this good setup. And then as she gets into her setup, then we can maybe work on the finish or whatever it might be. But just make sure that you don't jump ahead when you're working on things, right? If it's feet, let them focus on their feet. But don't let the result, right, define who they are especially when you're learning. So we're going to talk a little bit, and listen, one of the things too is we like to do it off a pass a lot, right? So this would be, if we're just training somebody and we're just maybe working footwork, maybe it's a new footwork pattern coming off the net off of 1 foot, we're going to toss balls. But if I'm just in the gym with a setter by myself, then I want her to toss to me and I would pass lots of balls, right? If we had 3 sets or whatever like that, or another coach, you could get somebody bowling the ball over the net to make it more live. Right, but I don't talk a lot because it's just it's not real, right? It's not real. They don't get to read the pass off the they don't get to read the pass coming off the passer's arm. So as much as you can, if it's just you and a setter in the gym, then let's just pass it back and forth, right? So we'll talk a little bit about, here we go, we'll get some passes in here, and we like to mix it up, right? Like Corey's been tossing, moving around, and so when we go to these pass balls, we want to be able to work on setting short string, and we want to work on setting long string sets, right? We want to be able to work on setting the ball from off the net. All things that are going to happen in a game-like situation. Go ahead, Corey. You just bowl some in. You can mix it around a little bit if you like. And so we're going to mix it around a little bit and just have these setters move. And you can pass close to the outside. You could pass some over there and bring her off. So she has to go short string, right, moving toward the outside, because the way you set the ball is going to be differently than if it's a perfect pass. And the other thing that we like to do a lot too is we'd come out of serve receive. So Miranda, you guys want to come out of row 1? So we do this a lot where they're just releasing out of row 1 and getting in the pocket. Kristen we call it the pocket in our gym, and that's just where they're getting 5 feet off. And when they're releasing from this side, they're going to pivot on their left foot. So they're going to run in, and she pivots on her left to face the pass, right? And hopefully she's there most of the time before the ball is passed. If she's a little late, then we'd like her to stop early. That is not, she doesn't have to be in that spot all the time, right? If it's a little bit faster serve or she released late or whatever the case may be, especially on defense, which we'll go over here in a minute, we want them to be stopped and balanced before the ball is passed so they can make a good move to the ball.
Thank you for watching the JVA Coach to Coach video of the week.